WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Livingston. A hostage standoff in Clinton is now over. The standoff lasted almost 12 hours and police confirm multiple fatalities. Here's more on the story.
Not long after 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, shots rang out in this northern Clinton community in the midst of a deadly hostage situation. Several people were killed.
It is with a saddened heart that I report that there were multiple fatalities within that residence and that the scene is now secure.
This began in the early hours of Saturday morning when officers received a call about a domestic dispute on Fox Hill Drive, but when police arrived, things took a turn for the worse.
At about 2:30 this morning, our officers responded to a scene over here behind us to a disturbance in progress. When our officers arrived, they received fire from the suspect. The suspect then retreated into his home.
By sunrise, neighbors along the street woke up to an unusual scene, one described as a war zone with more than 50 police and sheriff cars, plus the SWAT team surrounding the home.
We have such good relationships here in Hinds County and all over the state that such a collaborative effort from many different law enforcement sources.
As time went on, authorities say 2 children were eventually released from the home and they are being treated.
There were 2 small children that were inside that residence for several hours. They were released and they are safe and out of harm's way.
It was around 2 p.m. when the final stage of this hostage situation came to an end. The Mississippi Bureau of Investigations has taken over this case, and authorities tell us the suspect is now in custody. Clinton borders the state capital of Jackson to the west. An overnight shooting in West Point sends 1 person to the hospital. According to the West Point Police Department's Twitter account, officers responded to a shooting call at around 1:30 a.m. The shooting happened at a residence on Little Street. 1 person was shot during the incident and taken to Baptist Memorial Hospital in Columbus. The victim was later discharged. If you have any information about this incident or others, contact the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers at 1-800-530-7151. Honoring the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen yesterday by their deranged co-worker. 6 other people were wounded. They are expected to survive. Here's the latest.
5 white crosses have been placed in the shadow of the Henry Pratt Company building. 5 male employees of Henry Pratt were shot and killed there Friday. Clayton Parks, the human resources manager. Trevor Wayner, a human resources intern and a student at Northern Illinois University. Russell Byer, a mold operator. Vicente Juarez, a stockroom attendant and forklift operator, and Josh Pinkard, the plant manager, whose father told CBS News his son was talkative and loving. Gunman Gary Martin also shot at responding Aurora police officers, wounding 5 of them. Another male employee was also shot but is expected to survive. Kristen Zeman is Aurora's chief of police.
Preliminary investigation indicates that the deceased victims were located in the same general area of the Henry Pratt facility.
The youngest victim, 21-year-old Trevor Wayner, the HR intern, was sitting in as his new colleagues terminated the gunman after 15 years of employment.
We believe that several people who were involved in that meeting are the ones who are deceased.
Behind me are those 5 white crosses with the names of the victims inscribed upon them all day long. People have been coming by here to pray and to pay their respects, and we've learned this. There are several memorial vigils planned over the next couple of days. Vladimir Dutip, CBS News, Aurora, Illinois.
Josh Pinkard, the plant manager, was originally from Holly Pond, Alabama. Reports have come out that he is a graduate of Mississippi State and is said to have been a true bulldog. It's now time to turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Dickey with the first look at our forecast. Jacob?
Hey Riley, we are watching some showers move across our area right now. We might call it the appetizer to the 5-course dinner coming our way as far as rain is concerned. Some of these light showers continue to push through across the southeast through Mississippi and Alabama. Not expecting much of that, more showers tomorrow. However, later on this week, mid to late week, heavy rain is coming here. A band of showers and thunderstorms expected to develop and sit over parts of the south. Futurecast says that rain lasting Tuesday. Here's by Wednesday into Thursday and even Friday, Saturday. into the weekend. Look at that. So much rain over us here. The future estimates suggest that we could see 3 to 6 inches of rain with locally higher amounts. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to talk more about the rain. We'll talk about the flood potential, as well as where some strong storms may occur. I'll let you know all those details coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Jacob. It sounds like we're going to be needing our rain jackets. So Life Church in Lowndes County played host to a mental health forum earlier today. The event was centered around adolescents and featured 5 different mental health professionals who spoke on various topics. Psychiatrist at the forum says it's important for parents and caregivers to recognize the signs of poor mental health in children while also helping to facilitate good mental health.
So we know a lot goes on in childhood that we never know about, and that children can be traumatized by things that sometimes we don't think of as traumatic, or the parents think that they were too young and they don't remember.
Event coordinators say it's easy to spot poor physical health in a child, but they hope to make it even easier to spot signs of bad mental health. As we all know, this month is Black History Month, and each year the Association for the Study of African American Life and History chooses a theme for the month. This year the theme is African American migration, and one area organization is taking a look at locals who have left the state and made their way back. Our Cash Matlock has the story.
It's very important for individuals to understand their history in order for them to be able to move forward. If you don't know where you've been, most likely you don't know where you're going. And so today we provide an opportunity to connect with the next generation of people.
Frank Taylor was the guest speaker and recipient of the Black History Hero Honor at this year's Black History Month exhibit sponsored by the nonprofit organization Friends of Dean Park in Louisville. And the exhibit features authentic African fabrics, patterns, dresses, and dolls, as well as books and write-ups on important figures in the African American community nationally, as well as locally.
We are a great people. We came from a great country, Africa. Our ancestors came from there. And they're very strong people in order to have made it across that ocean to get here. And, you know, we're still here.
The Friends of Dean Park are honoring those who left their hometown but ultimately found their way back.
Frank Taylor is one of the people that migrated from Louisville, Mississippi, went to Kentucky, and came back to run a program that's been very helpful to African American small farmers.
I have a picture of my mother that migrated from here to New York City with 7 of us, and we all came back home.
Exhibit directors say their goal is to inspire younger generations.
And it's important that we know our history because it gives us self-esteem. And that's my concern, especially with the young kids. I grew up very shy with little self-esteem, and that's because I didn't know where I came from. I didn't know anything about my ancestors.
And everyone in attendance agreed that change can only come from a group effort.
In order for us to move this state forward, we have to work with a team effort collectively of all people in order for all boats to ride.
Every one of us have a gift or ability, so let it be utilized to enhance not only just the black race of people, but all races of people.
The Black History exhibit is on display at the Winston County Library, where it will remain throughout the month of February. Coming up next, we find out if a mild winter will affect bug populations. Stay with us. Welcome back. Progress continues in Booneville with the construction of the Northeast Mississippi Community College Fields of Dreams. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
For years, the Northeast Tigers baseball teams have been sharing a field at the city park with Booneville High School. And the Lady Tigers have been playing at a nearby field also in the city park. But last summer, ground was broken for the Field of Dreams, the $8.2 million complex for both baseball and softball. Baseball coach Rich Harrelson says it will be easier for his players to practice.
It's the conflict that always comes with it. You know, Coach Williams and I are really good friends, and we do a great job of monitoring practice schedules. You know, we start practice every day at 1 o'clock, and we try to be off by 3:15 for those guys. It's always been a problem with that. I don't know if we've ever had our whole team out here for a practice during the spring. just because of class schedule. So this new facility is fixing to do wonders for us.
Northeast softball coach Jody Long says playing at a city park puts Northeast at a disadvantage.
As far as the playing surface and relationship with the city of Boonville, it has been outstanding. But you know, with playing in a park and not having your own facility, so to speak, your counterparts throughout the country can use that as a downside as far as recruiting.
And the new fields will be great for the community.
For the fans, it just gives them pride. You know, it's something that's ours. And the city of Boonville's always been great. They've always worked with us, but you know, we've never had our own field. And like I said, we've always shared this. And there's a lot of history behind us right here. But to have our own place, it's gonna be so much fun.
Both the fields will be a 100% turf, AstroTurf, and so you know it cuts down on maintenance, cuts down on field prep, and we're looking forward to having, if not the best facility in the Southeast or in the country.
They said if we're going to do it, let's do it right, and so we're going to do it right.
Target date for opening, August 2nd. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Boonville.
The field should be ready in time for both the baseball and softball fall schedules. When it comes to winters, this year has been pretty mild. If you've been outside recently, you might have noticed some critters flying around. Mosquitoes and wasps have been spotted during the past few days. But the question is, does a mild winter play a role in insect population?
Insects that maybe overwinter underground or in logs and structures, things like that, in trees, they're more insulated, and a mild winter is not really going to affect their populations that much.
But according to Mother Nature Network, what can affect insects is when spring arrives. The earlier the spring, the more active insects become.
I'll tell you what else, with all of the rain that is coming this way, we may end up with mosquitoes the size of basketballs before things are said and done. Heavy rain, 3 to 6 inches, is around the corner. I've got the full details on it and the impacts you can expect after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Well, as we take a look at our Alpha Insurance Skycam network outside right now, seeing a lot of clouds, some light showers, maybe even a little bit of low fog in some spots, but overall nothing too concerning as we head through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. Temperatures are in the 40s out there. They will climb eventually overnight tonight. 45 in Columbus, 43 in Amory. Bit of a cool and chilly day. 42 in Calhoun City, Macon at 45. I think those temperatures are going to rise. Notice here our lows tonight are generally in the 40s out there. And where we're at now, that's where the low temperatures are. We are at the lows right now. I think the temperatures will rise in the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. I think also we'll see some more showers here. Notice that these light little showers and sprinkles are coming on through the area. Don't be surprised if you get a quick little shower or maybe even a downpour by 1 a.m. Notice off to our north and west, seeing some thunderstorms up towards Memphis. Those may stay just north of our area, but in our area through Sunday morning, still some isolated showers out there. Will not rule them out even on the day Sunday. Lunchtime, look at this. The rain really blossoms across our area from west to east. That rain will lift to the north associated with the warm front. Some more showers and storms as we go into Sunday afternoon. A lot of rain coming here and there, hit and miss as we go through. But by Sunday night, partly cloudy sky comes on in. Here's how the temperatures look overnight tonight into tomorrow. We will slowly climb from the mid-40s where we are now into the 50s by, I think, 3 a.m., 60s by 9 a.m. in lunchtime. I think we're heading for the mid-60s, maybe upper 60s, low 70s in a few spots out there. I'll call it 70 in Macon, 72 in DeKalb, 67 in Columbus, 64 in Amory. Again, remember, chance for showers area-wide throughout the day on Sunday. Here's that front that's moving our way here by 9 a.m. That warm front is lifted to the north. That brings those temperatures up. The cold front quickly follows in by Sunday afternoon, pushing the temperatures right back down. And it goes far enough south where actually Monday during the day, I expect a partly sunny sky. That'll be very nice, and maybe will only be the only day we see some sunshine over the next 7 days. Look at this. The potential for rain is there over the next 7 days. 5, 6, 7 inches, not out of the question with locally higher amounts as a rather complex system really gets set up and winded up over our area. The jet stream, a big problem here. South winds bringing in Gulf moisture overhead. Southwest flow really enhances that, and that's going to set up a good chance for rain Tuesday all the way through the weekend. Very wet setup coming for us here. This is a setup where really flash flooding can be a concern and heavy rainfall leading to even river flooding. So I am really concerned as how far as things shape out here. That boundary will wiggle just a little bit, but as it does, I think we stay on the north side of it for the most part, which lowers our severe threat, but that enhances our rainfall amounts 3 to 6 inches with locally higher amounts. that may be on the conservative side of things in our area. So in the meantime, I'm thinking a high threat for flooding in our area. Urban, low-lying areas, those areas that are prone to flooding, starting on Tuesday all the way through Saturday, just because of the long duration and high rainfall totals. And then we'll have to watch the river levels as we go through the future here. That's something that will be something monitoring well beyond the next 7 days. As far as the rain goes, Monday, the only dry day I'm really looking at here. Tuesday, the heavy rain starts, lasts through Wednesday and Thursday, more into the weekend.
The Rebels return home riding a win streak. Highlights from the pavilion are coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
After 4 straight losses, the Rebels now have 3 straight wins as they return home to play Missouri inside the pavilion. Let's see if the Rebs can keep it up. Ole Miss at home taking on Missouri in an SEC cross-divisional matchup in the first half. Rebels playing D early as Devontae Schuler forces the turnover, steals the ball and makes the finesse layup at the rim to give the Rebs their first bucket. The Rebs get the ball back again. KJ Buffin puts on the behind-the-back move, then passes to Bruce Stevens, who knocks down the three-point shot, and Ole Miss is leading 8-2. Later, a little two-man give-and-go action by Ole Miss as Stevens passes out to Buffin, who penetrates to the basket and dumps it back off for the 2. The Rebels up 10-4. Mizzou trying to inbound the ball. It slips out of Kevin Puryear's hands and is scooped up by Terrence Davis, who finds Schuler, the pass fake, and 3 ball. Schuler hot early on. The Tigers responding back, though. Puryear catches it on the block and kicks it out to the corner to Javon Pickett. Cashes out on the 3, cutting the deficit to 5. And the Rebels get some ball movement going on. Brian Tyree passes it to Dominic Olenichek. He finds Schuler, who comes off the ball screen and knocks down the jumper. Ole Miss leading now by 9. The Rebels getting it done on the defensive end yet again as Terrence Davis gets the steal, passes ahead to Buffin, who finds Davis on the wing, and he'll pull up for 3, and he'll knock the shot down, and Ole Miss is back leading by 9. And Ole Miss would get the ball back yet again. This time, Buffin's going to be on the wing, and from there, he knocks down the three-point shot, and Ole Miss would be leading by 12 with 6.5 left to go in the half. The Tigers trying to make it a game. Xavier getting his legs moving this time, and he's going to get the rebound and pick it in the corner for the money shot. The Rebels now up 29-22. Ole Miss responding back. KJ Buffin catches it in the corner, pass fake, and then attacks the rim to make the floater. And then with just 1:32 before the half, Davis finds Hinson, who hits a cutting Buffin for the slam and then the dunk. Ole Miss going 33-26 at the half, and they would go on to get the win in the game. The final 75 for Ole Miss and 65 for Missouri. After those 4 straight losses, the Rebels now have 4 straight wins and improved to 8-4 in SEC play.
He was the one guy that was, when we missed a shot, he was going. You know, TD never really went to the offensive boards at all, you know, and I thought KJ, you know, he only had 4, but I thought his activity level, he guarded better, you know, and he's starting to shoot it better, more comfortably, and that's going to even come more and more as his career goes.
As you saw tonight, hit the pop 3, crashed the boards, finished down low, and even hit that little mid-range like you saw him hit a baseline shot for us tonight. So especially Dom, too, he brings another side to us. And like I said with KJ, same thing with Bruce and Dom. Throughout the season, we're just going to get better and better, and that goes for every one of the players.
Mississippi State with 1 win under its belt for the week already. Now can the Bulldogs do it again while also on the road? Find out next with highlights from Arkansas coming up in sports. Stick with us. The Bulldogs looking to keep the winning momentum from earlier in the week alive in Fayetteville. Arkansas looking to get off to a fast start tonight. The opening possession for the Razorbacks, Mason Jones drains a wide open 3-shot. And then Jalen Harris now over to Edrio Bailey on the wing, rises up and hits the 15-footer. It'd be 5-0 for Arkansas to start the game off. Back comes State. Tyson Carter on the run. The pull-up from the foul line, and the Bulldogs are within 1. The Razorbacks now running this time. Bailey finishes at the rim with the high-flying dunk. He had 6 points in the first half. It'd be 18-14 with the Hogs in the lead. Arkansas shot 58% from the field in the first half, 60% from beyond the arc as Isaiah Joe knocks down the triple. The Hogs take a 38-32 lead going into halftime, but they didn't score a bucket from the field for the first 4+ minutes on the second half. Meanwhile, Mississippi State went on an 11-1 run and later would get the win 77-67 against Arkansas on the road. It would mark the second straight win for the Bulldogs. Q Weatherspoon leading the way in this one with 11 points, but right behind him was Reggie Perry, actually leading the way with 12 points and 10 rebounds. And a good thing to know is what might have been the difference in this game is they had 12 points off of turnovers against the Razorbacks in the second half. It's really good for them, but the difference was here is that compared to the first half, Arkansas scored 18 points off of State in that first half compared to in the second half, they only had 4. So it might not seem like it makes the biggest difference, but in this game, I definitely say it was the difference for the Bulldogs. But one Bulldog was missing from this action this evening, which is hours from tip-off. In Arkansas, Mississippi State releasing a statement that sophomore guard Nick Weatherspoon has been suspended indefinitely from participating in game action. The statement saying that Weatherspoon has been suspended due to a violation of team rules. In almost every game this season he's played, averaging 9.6 points per game and 2.3 rebounds per game. We'll continue to update you with information as it becomes available to us. Well, something of note, Heritage Academy getting the North State 3A win, beating Leak Academy 70-50. Up next is the state tournament. They'll be playing that at Leak Academy coming up next week. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more when we come back. Stick with us.
We'll see some showers move on in here Sunday. Dry on Monday, the once-a-ride day of the week here. Heavy rain moves in on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday and Saturday, the rain continues. Get the full forecast online. We'll keep you updated.
I hope everyone have a great night.